play against someone.
Okay, someone will be paired with you just now.
Okay. Now I just want to know why am I? Oh, thanks, coach.
No problem. Okay, so welcome to the Western Cape um, Western Cape Accessible Talent Identification Program. So these are the kids that we've been working with for the past couple of weeks, and they've been playing. And I think at this point we're at a point where we can test their abilities and what they know, what they don't know. We can check their games. And hopefully, they can also look at these games and see, okay, this is an area where we want to improve. So this is very interesting because this is one of the courses that's on Chessable. This is from, I'm assuming, this is from the Italian. Slips my mind, but it's one of the courses that actually Wesley So delivers a good course, and you end up with this structure. The white is quite active on the C file and on the queen side. And I think there's a few moves that might have been mistaken here or made a mistake of. Maybe knight b6, knight c5 makes sense. But the uncomfortable scenario for black is the weakness on the c file. So white needs to figure out how to take advantage of that. We've got this bishop, but it's a terrible bishop because of the pawn. See if Zaywon can figure this out. It's a bit down on time. Bishop is okay on time, but sure. I didn't have a square. Quite a bold move, but destroys the king cover. Is time black. I'm not so sure what this move will do. Maybe he's trying to play f6. Not a good move. Majority of the times. Can't actually make that move. Because at the end of it, usually there's g5. It just adjusts the queen. The full effect of it, I'm not so sure also. Got to spend a little bit of time with Zaywon at the Winter Games. Very talented kid. I think he comes from West Coast, I think.
Kunnen boek die 6 kunnen doen. Die kunnen doen dit die already.
Okay, now this is the mistake we were talking about, that white keeps a lot of pressure on the c file. I mean, this is obvious mistake that black should not have made. But these are the mistakes that these kids make, and part of what we are trying to get them to iron out.
Waar is hij nog? Nee, het gaat er weer niet. Hoorde hij moest vragen doen naar. Nee, doe maar.
Yeah, these are the mistakes that they make. Now he's making some amendments, but usually mistakes that are made like this, a person fixes them in a hurry. Now b7 or 4, probably the easiest way to try and convert this position, but there's some annoying traps here. And let's say if the queen is on d3, knight g5 comes with the tempo, attacking h7, at the same time attacking the queen. Tacticians would normally spot ideas like that quicker and sort of lay traps to try and convert. Yeah, So this would be typical. And yeah, so here a move like Queen D3 might be a nice trap. Just checking your awareness. Brings this rook. Okay, so now it's no longer just about chess. Of course, time pressure is quite evident, and Black is really struggling to get to grips with what to do. Get a bad position and is down on time. Not a good combination. Okay, he goes Queen G6. I can respect that idea. He wants to cover any possible time gaining ideas with Queen D3. And here, I think White should just keep it simple. Stuff like Rook C3, Rook C1. This is the thing. Sometimes when your opponent is in time trouble, you want to go out of your way to do things that will make him waste more time, but that's not really necessary. The secret of time trouble is to just keep on making good moves. And here, White has wasted more than enough. They say in Blitz, 10 seconds is worth a pawn. In critical moments, I tend to agree with that evaluation. Of course, these guys playing in this particular setting, they've got a 5-second increment after they make each move. So I highly doubt that if you lose because of time. You lose because you panicked, I think, maybe. It's a nice idea. Just wants to play F5 and re-emphasize the fact that the queen is not well placed on G6. And yeah, Black is churning a lot of time. These are decisions that people make usually under pressure. Knight takes G4, sacrificing a knight, but there's no real compensation for the sacrifice unless White sort of messes up. It's a simple position. I really doubt they would make such mistakes. Here, H6. Oh, nice move. The bishop falls. Yeah, the rest should be easy. Okay, so White needs to just put, oh, that is a nice move. Because knight check now. It's mate. Needs to be able to find that knight check. It's not a complicated position. Move. You should be able to find this. Yep, checkmate. Nice checkmate. Smooth that checkmate. That was very nice game from Zay1. So here we've got what? Tayden and Genie 0-1. That's a good move for me, not moving backwards. One of the things we've been addressing a lot is they should try not to move backwards. But already here, White has got an extra pawn, so things must have gone wrong in the opening. I assume, okay, yes, this kind of play. And we are here. Already Black messed up. Now, this pawn that's like in Black's throat, it's going to be very difficult to sort of quietly get rid of it. And already Tayden is wasting a lot of time here. accept that you made a mistake and play d6 and you quickly eliminate the problem. But under pressure, it's a little bit different, I guess. Worked funny under pressure. But this is too much time that is wasting on this move. There's no justifying this much amount of time. Unless it's disconnected. Yeah, I doubt he wants to. I doubt. I like that. Okay, so I think there's something wrong with this game. See, just watched Z1 now. Game pressure. See what's happening with my EC here. Okay, it looks like a typical scenario from an E4, E5 position, perhaps an Italian. Okay, 4 knights. But here Black has made some concessions which are very difficult to work with. These doubled pawns and these doubled pawns are a sign of some poor decisions at some point. A move like Bishop E3 is next on. This is a blunder. It's a tactical blunder. You can just take the piece for free. Already you have a better position. You can even take with the pawn in this position. I'm not sure what. Black was thinking. I think he thought he was picking up this piece. This is now just a lost position after c3 and knight moves, and you can take on d8 followed by knight takes on e6. Should be winning for white. This is just a mistake. Take h5. The threat of mate, and I'm sure h6 would follow. Knight f3, putting pressure on e5, and you win this pawn. You have to play bishop takes. This is a mistake. Oh, I guess queen takes, rook takes with check, and after rook takes, you lose your queen. These kids are laying traps on each other. So this is black falls for the trap, takes with check. Just did one of these exercises in class now. Takes, and after bishop takes, it's just a hopeless position for black. Now it's a question of conversion. This is a terrible move. Maybe you should have brought the bishop there, because this is just undeveloping. It's going to make it longer for white to convert. Even if he had come on d2, he could have been transferring the bishop here. Queen h5 puts pressure on the pawn. He goes d2. I'm not sure what the idea is, but queen takes pawn should work. bishop takes. Now you can put the bishop on c3, returning mate. So bishop c3. Terrible move. You just lose the bishop. Oops. It's lost, but you should try to make it as clean as possible. Bishop c3. That doesn't help. So these kind of mistakes are what you experience more with these kids than you'll be teaching them fancy stuff, but they don't know how to convert even a winning position. And this is teachable stuff. This is stuff that they just need to learn how to do. That's where you hear stuff like, "Oh, I was winning, but I didn't know. I messed up somewhere." And this is it. This is what the kids mean when they are talking about that. Now it's busy collecting pawns, but the rule in this kind of position is that if you've got material worth over a rook, you should be looking for checkmate, not taking pawns like what he's doing. But he doesn't know better, or she doesn't know better, so she's doing what she knows: collect material. Unfortunately, most kids never come out of the way of thinking regarding winning material. As a result, they cannot sacrifice pieces. They cannot. Sometimes they lose positions which they were supposed to win because they just don't know how to convert. This is a mistake because of this check. You see that kids will spot this quicker than they'll spot winning strategic ideas. This is terrible. They've picked up a rook for free. Fascinating also how Moise is like 1400 here, 1100, and plus 24 is 1800. So probably thinking the person I'm playing is stronger than me easily. There might be fear also affecting the play. So here, Black is now sort of struggling with time trouble. They do have a 5-second increment, but knowing these players, they're just already freaking out. A strong player like Watwood, this 5 seconds is like eternity for him. But for these junior players, this is scary. Okay, let's look at this one. This is Old Crash Road KB Maruma. Okay, so what's happening here? Black is 2 pawns up. And yeah, this must have been oh, I see. The rook is hanging over. Just lost an exchange. What I didn't get was it was a mistake, this move, maybe. It was complicated. So when this gets played, if you play queen takes, it's got this knight d4 idea. And when you play queen away, then yes, knight check, pawn takes, bishop takes. Then attack, but unclear. It's forcing. Oh, there's a forced loss, so it's not working. But okay, in the game, what happened was he lost a piece. Just lost a piece. I don't think he thought long enough about what was happening. Okay, so we've got this position. So this kind of position should be easy to convert for black. Now it's easy to make a terrible mistake here. Oh, unfortunately, fortunately for white, this actually works because this check doesn't work anymore because you can recapture with the knight. It would be nice to set up the trap. But he plays queen e4. Now the advantage that black has is quite huge actually, material-wise. He has a bishop and 2 pawns. Black's position. All he needs to do is somehow get this piece involved because currently it's not. But also, like this position, you're not in a hurry. You need to make sure your position is safe. Right now, white threatens f4 perhaps. Pushing back knight, but I just don't see anything coming out of that. Yeah, but these positions you've worked hard to get here. It would be very hard to just see what you need to do. But I would maybe put this bishop in a position where it's not hanging. So maybe h5. Because if with the tempo, I respect that. Queen there, knight there. He was waiting. He was waiting for this fork. There's a problem with the terrible position. Oh, he leaves the queen. Now the queen drops. This is gonna hit. I'm surprised that black is thinking this is not mating, right? Aronian has a nice comment about these positions. It's like you must just grab a queen before before looking for anything else. Just take the queen and the position will work itself out. Okay, he resigned, and I understand also why you would do that. Looks like Tayden has taken over. And crazy fish, Kaylee, what's happening here? Okay, so black is a pawn up. Ooh, just blunders the queen. Came over. Kaylee has got. She probably will just resign and hope the next game is better. Yo. Okay, now drops the knight. You see, mistakes don't happen they happen in pairs. Because when you're still in shock of what just happened, the decision making is very poor. And you just make another mistake. It's just bad, yeah. Pisang did mas. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, white is a pawn up in this position, but he's in time trouble. A little bit. I'm not so sure how he handles this. It's not a good position for black. Definitely, it's losing. But these endgames are not the forte for these young people. Okay, so the problem with this position is it's got a trap, like a mating trap that's difficult to get rid of. And you have to be very careful. Like this is a mistake. Check and it's mate. Oh, pretty nice checkmate. A nice technical position like that, and you just lose because you didn't spend enough time to see a typical pattern. So these areas are the areas that these kids actually need help on. See, it's old crash and it's nubs. So this is a Rui Lopez exchange, and it's quite early in the game, which is quite nice. Probably the last game we'll probably see this. These people have drawn two together, and old crash has won one. A very nice position for white to play from a classical point of view, because black has got double pawns. Yes, he has bishops, but if white can succeed in exchanging all the pieces, the position is technically won for white. And here black just blundered, because this he's gonna lose one here. Take one for the team. So again, kids games. When it gets here, it's just a question of like how do you then convert material. So if he wins a piece here, white, his task becomes, I don't know why Blake was rushing, but okay, his task becomes increasing the material advantage to at least 5 points and then trying to push for mate. Yeah, you have to give up something. Yeah. The best sequence would be queen takes, rook takes. Oh, queen takes doesn't work because of bishop takes h2. You're losing an extra pawn than you have to. Queen takes works. And here, I would simply go back to d4, the queen central, go into that end game, which is clearly won for white. You shouldn't be spending a lot of time here. The position is very straightforward. Definitely too much time spent on a simple decision. I mean, the fact that this mistake was made quite early, one of the things which highlights what these kids need to know also. Their openings very well. And as part of the program we're doing, we're assigning them courses on chessable that they have to work with. Okay, bishop d6. Yeah, this stuff happens when you've got a bad position, just everything becomes bad. Placing of pieces is trying to protect c7, but c7 is gone. But much more annoying would be rook a d1, and you're already struggling with where to keep the queen. Old crush has got an easy cruise in this position here. Okay, d1. Now you've got a choice of f5 or g4. Of course, you don't want to exchange the queens. f5 is the only probably best option. Putting some pressure on c2 doesn't really mean much in this position. You're just going to be pressured and lose. Because for queen g4, yeah, but this is not. This is something you're trying to avoid if you're playing this position. Yeah, yeah. So it's now a question of conversion. Black needs to complete his pieces development, but is definitely it's lost. But you've got to do your best. I think on aim chess they classify this as resourcefulness, being able to fight in positions where you're technically lost. Okay, so yeah, you don't want to exchange pieces. You want to try and avoid as much as possible. Although in this position, that's one of the difficult things. It's difficult to avoid exchanging pieces. Every move you make sort of rushes or pushes white to a scenario where you can exchange pieces. So he exchange, but D. The pieces should never move backwards. Should try to keep on getting them forward. Knight here would be good. Black has a weak back rank, so he needs to also fix that. So why is taking too much time on some of the simpler decisions? That this is not a good idea. Yep. Correct response. There's no need to play complicated stuff when you've got a technically winning position. Okay, his idea. Oh, black shouldn't be exchanging. every exchanging brings white closer to what he wants. Black needs to fix also his back rank, maybe h6 would have been correct here, or g6. Okay, so in the larger scheme of things for the tournament, this game is not going to count because of time. Time having run out. It's a trap, this move. You take checkmate. I don't think white will fall for that. Hope white doesn't fall for that. Kumbrai from Australia is saying, not looking good for black. Black is a lot of moves behind. Yeah, black is lost. Yeah, knight, yeah. Shani, how is it down there? We've got another parser joining you soon. So it's check and king moves. Again, it's about conversion, and it's interesting to see how they really just don't not yet nailing it. So yeah, this is one of the common mistakes that people make. Of course, exchanging pawns when you can win them outright. Maybe putting the pawn on a5, putting the knight on a2, and then b4, attacking that pawn was the right approach. But juniors tend to play these conversion positions like they are playing me to game. Here, a move like rook here would be smart to play rook d6 and pick up this pawn. Exchanging would not be good for black. Because b4, which is also correct, fixing a weakness. a6 is a weakness that needs to be fixed and then attacked. So a move like a check here, followed by knight c5 is on the cards. Black is using quite a bit of time. Covers the back rank, but now rook c6. Rook a8. Now this is a useless move in this position. Because there, you can just improve your king. These are kind of moves that come for free, at least when you want to gain a little bit of time on the clock. Now, there's a threat of constantly playing f5. You can just go king d3. It's not possible now, but just getting it out of the way. Oh, this move doesn't really change much, does it? Okay, now rook c6 works. Okay, doesn't hurt. There's no need to hurry. White is playing a little bit like he's got no plan. Now rook check also is not bad. Then attacking from behind. Because, okay, this is not bad also. 5. It's now a little bit better because you can play a5 now. Okay, check. I'm not sure what this does. You need to get over this kind of Patsa sees a check, Patsa gives a check. It's one of those things that one needs to get over. As you get stronger, you need to find strong moves consistently, even in a bad position, and a5 was very necessary. Sometimes these almost won positions are drawn because the conversion is bad. And One of the things that they must not do is to exchange pawns, but they do that a lot. So here he's got an idea now that he can press a little bit. F5 probably picks the C3 pawn. He didn't see it. And yeah. Now it's gone out of the realities of saving. More it's white's game now. D2. The tournament is finished, and thank you guys for joining us, students. There's one game still going on that I'm following, that also you can follow on the chess. But it's not going to count, of course. But from a technical point of view, it's an interesting game. Yeah. Before now the rook goes behind. Last one. We're sending you a Patsa Shani there in Australia. A good Patsa. Play with. 95. Very good. Now the pawn is protected. No, it's just a blunder. Pawn takes and dash. Oh, he misses it. Pawn push and the rest is easy. Black should just give up. Pawn push. I won't be surprised to see white trying to save the knight. But just simply that's what he did. Pawn push. Now the next one is pawn push. Now which pawn do you save? This one promotes to a queen. This one's going to promote also to a queen. Check. This is good. Looking for stalemates, just making sure that I'm not stalemating the position. But he has some interesting ideas. Queen check I like because it mates in two. Oh yes, the idea rook takes. You could just simply take the castle. So many moves that black can make. Check. And it's game over. Mate. Okay, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully, hey, my stream name is too wrong. I'm gonna fix it today. I wanted to. It was an off the cuff stream, but I'm gonna fix it for future. Thanks, Greywood. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in and coming through. We'll see you. So what we're going to be doing now, every time we have the training, immediately afterwards, we've got a small tournament, and we're going to stream and so that we can see the progress that these kids on the talent identification program are on. Most of these kids are in the regions where normally they wouldn't have access to coaching, and Western Cape is providing a year-long program to get these kids up to speed. So it's looking good. And today was the first tournament that we sort of got going. We've got a lot of things to fix, but it's nice to see the progress and change. And very soon we'll be implementing the courses that Chessable is sponsoring for these kids and see how it impacts the quality of their play. So it'll be very nice to document the games and share them with you. It's just a beautiful story. So thank you so much for being with us, and hopefully for future we'll get some entertaining games. Cheers.